Hello everyone, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this. So a bit of background. So the reason that I developed this lesson is that my school, my district, for science lessons, they really want science teachers to focus on the engineering design process. So what the engineering design process is a series of steps that engineers use to identify and solve a problem. So as you can see, engineers first ask what the problem is, they research the problem, they develop possible solutions, they create a plan, then they build their solution, then they test their solution, and then based on what happened during testing, they make improvements. So this engineering design process, students are supposed to use this while learning science. So our lessons incorporate a lot of engineering and again incorporate this process. This is how the district wants students to learn science. So my lesson is sort of based around this process. So in terms of the subject grade, etc., if I go on to the New Jersey Department of Education, so first of all, as I said, the subject for this lesson is science. It is grade 7, and we are going to be looking at Unit 8, which is Earth systems. So as you can see here, students they learn about the processes and events in the Earth's history. So they learn about the different geologic processes like earthquakes, hurricanes, landslides, etc., and how they affect not just the geography of the Earth, but how they affect life as well. So specifically, we're going to be learning about how geo science processes, specifically earthquakes, affects life on Earth, specifically humans. All right. Now, so student learning objectives, as you can see here, students will be able to explain how engineers design buildings in order to mitigate the effects of earthquakes on buildings in earthquake-prone areas like Japan, California, and other places. Students will know all of the major earthquake-resistant features that architects incorporate in buildings and will be able to use them to design a building that can withstand a simulated earthquake. Now, the specific standard that this aligns with, if I go, so the science standards that New Jersey has adopted is the Next Generation Science Standards. So the specific standard that this lesson aligns with is Middle School Earth System Science 2.2. Construct an explanation based on evidence for how geoscience processes have changed Earth's surface at varying time and spatial scales. So like I said before, the specific geoscience process that we're going to look at is earthquakes. And in terms of the time and spatial scale, we're going to be looking at short term in terms of human civilization, how earthquakes affect cities, basically. Moving on. So the basic information, how this lesson is going to work. So the lesson will begin by me showing students a video. I'm not going to play the video, but I'll show images that go with the video. So students will be provided some background image about the earthquake that struck Haiti in 2010. Students are going to see a video made by the BBC, which shows reporters touring the aftermath of the 2010 Haitian earthquake. So in the video, students will be seeing things like this. They'll be seeing this. Basically, various images of the aftermath and devastation of the earthquake. And what I want students to specifically notice is the poor quality of the buildings. So the question that students are going to be asked is, why do you think this earthquake was so deadly? Students will learn from the video that hundreds of thousands of people died from this earthquake. And students are going to, see all this and they're going to be asked, why do you think so? And hopefully, so students, they'll be partnering with somebody and they'll be working with a partner to write their answer to this after watching the video. And hopefully, the conclusions that students will come up with is that it is the poor quality of the buildings in Haiti, because Haiti is a poor country. So the poor quality of the materials and the poor building codes are, resulted in the buildings collapsing, which is why this earthquake was so deadly. And towards that end, students are going to be learning about the various earthquake resistant features that engineers incorporate in buildings in earthquake prone areas to help buildings survive earthquakes. So this is by no means a complete list of what students will be learning, but I had to keep this brief. So students will be learning about things like cross braces, shock absorbers or base isolators, active tenon systems, which kind of help anchor a building, mass dampers. We'll be learning about a bunch of things. Earthquake resistant features. So what students are going to be doing after they learn about all these features is they're going to be split into groups of 4, and each group is going to receive straws, pipe cleaners, paper clips, marshmallows, and masking tape. And what they're going to do is they're going to use these materials to create a 3-story miniature building. They're going to be given most of class to do this. And at the end of class, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be taping their building onto a shake machine. So I have this exact machine in my classroom here. It can shake very violently, and students love it. So after building, they're going to tape it to the machine, and they're going to see if their building withstands the earthquake. And they're going to specifically be looking at their earthquake resistant features that they incorporated to see if they help the building survive. And then students are going to answer analysis questions in their lab packet. So this is the lab packet I used in previous years. So they provide a description of their building, they provide a sketch, they do a hypothesis for how they think it'll do, then they start building and they answer analysis questions. Okay, now, so in terms of the groups of students that this would help, so students with physical disabilities, if they have trouble using their hands, there are many online programs available where you can create a building online and you can see how it will do under a simulated earthquake. So multiple means of expression and representation. Students that have reading and writing difficulties, maybe students with dyslexia, instead of relying on this lab packet, students can record their answers via video, would be an example. And students with attention issues like ADHD, for example, I think this is a great lesson for them because it doesn't rely, there is some writing, but again, they have alternative options. But this is very interactive. This is very hands-on. Students are getting up and working together and building. They're not just reading about earthquakes. They're not just writing about them. They're actually doing something interactive, which I think will be great for this group of students.